Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode of the podcast. Before we jump in, a quick reminder again, the days are counting down. We have just a few weeks away before we start the two new 8-week men's peak performance cohorts starting the week of January 13th. If that's something you're interested in, or you think your dad be interested in, or your husband, or your boyfriend, or your brother, or yourself, or your buddy, whoever it might be, link is in the description. It's an 8-week group where me and my good friend Pierre, who is a licensed board certified psychiatrist and men's coach, and I am, again, in case you're new to the show, I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist and men's coach. We both have over 20 years combined of experience working with probably well over 4,000, 5,000 men and individuals in our practices combined. And we guide you through this 8-week kind of small group setting. We talk about having purpose, having meaning, having identity and values. We talk about masculinity. We talk about emotional intelligence. We talk about regulating our nervous system and being effective, among other topics. If it's something you are interested in, link is in the description below. Again, it begins the week of January 13th. There'll be 2 group offerings this round, which we're excited about to do 2 at the same time to allow more men to join. Now, let's jump into this week's topic. So this week's is a real quick one, but I think it's important. So we have the holidays right on our doorstep, and these are 3 quick tips, 3 quick areas of guidance, wisdom, advice, whatever word you like to use, to help you navigate this effectively as a dad or any parent really through this season. And so number 1, it's about being present, right? Not perfect. We want to focus on connection. We want to focus on being present with our family, with our kids, with our spouse. It's not about being perfect. It's not about having the perfect gift. It's not about having everything exactly right, but it's about being connected. Your kids, your children will notice a difference. Your partner will notice a difference. You want to be aware of the moments of joy, of laughter, of goofiness. We want to kind of step away from all the busyness of the season and just take a moment to pause and show up for them. Play a game with them, play Legos, listen to music, drink that extra cup of hot cocoa or eggnog, whatever it is. It's about feeling seen and valued. And you as a dad, you as a parent are kind of setting the tone for that. Like you're the one setting the stage, kind of the model for your kids about being present. Are they seeing a dad who's busy, who isn't present, who's disconnected, who's on his phone 24/7, who's stressed out? Are they and they feel stressed out talking to you? Do they feel nervous about asking dad to play with them, to be with them? Is your spouse feeling the same way? Are you trying to be so perfect and everything just right, but it's like you're kind of like a hot potato kind of thing? At any minute you're just gonna explode, right? What's going on? So it's about being present, not perfect. Number 2, it's about staying regulated. We all know that this time of year can bring on so many different emotions among so many different topics. It could be stress at work, it could be family stress. There's just so many things. It's like societal stressors and pressures around buying the right gift, or having this kind of money, or doing this, or spending time with this person, or making sure, there's so many things that could pull us as parents, as dads, in different directions. And so the best thing to do, though, is to stay regulated. And why that's important is because, well, how do you do when you're stressed out? How do you do when you're irritable? How do you do when you're anxious and overwhelmed or pissed off? How does that impact you and the family around you and your coworkers? Do you like how you are in that state? My guess is you probably don't. And so we want to stay regulated. And why that's important is because when you're grounded, when you're regulated, you're able to effectively navigate the stress. And that energy also impacts those around you, specifically your kids, specifically your family. They're watching you as a dad. They're observing and taking in and noticing all the things you do, all the little things that you might think that seem to go unnoticed. No, they're picking up on that. And staying regulated helps you navigate this stressful season. And it's such a great skill, especially for kids, to see a dad who's able to kind of take stressful situations, remain grounded, and be able to navigate effectively. Now, a thing that I like to do, especially with this, is I really tend to kind of check in with myself every day as best I can. Nowadays, I do skip, and my wife is really good at reminding me, so I really thank her for those gentle reminders. But I begin to notice any changes I do. So I make sure that I'm eating well, I'm sleeping well, I'm drinking enough water. I continue to do my kind of morning routine and practices, whether that's kind of some type of movement, some type of like meditation, breath work, prayer, journaling, or some combination of the above, where I'm remaining to continue my practices that keep me grounded, because all those things, at least for me, affect me greatly. And I know what can happen is when we get into these stressful seasons is we kind of let go of our routines. We kind of get too busy and we stop eating well. We don't sleep as well. We maybe we increase alcohol intake or something else, or we wake up late, we snooze, we don't work out, all these things that can actually add to our stress. So what I do is I'm very mindful of my routines. Something else I do is I just notice when I tend to get feeling a little more agitated or anxious, and I kind of like pause. I literally take a few breaths and just say, okay, it's not that big of a deal. Just reset, let it go. And then I focus on what matters most to me. And that goes back to number one for me is, again, being present, being connected, right? Not perfect. And the last one is really kind of, these all kind of go together, but it's about setting the tone. It's that your energy, your mood, again, your energy affects everything. It sets the tone for everyone. Everyone picks up on how you're doing, whether you want them to or not. You are that tone setter, right? That when we approach our traditions or our meals or kind of mistakes, if we approach that with like lightheartedness, with gratitude, with groundedness, those things become not stressful. And your ability to embrace imperfection as a dad, as a parent, also teaches your kids to embrace imperfection, and it teaches them resilience and joy. And so if we remind ourselves that we are that powerful to set the tone, I want you to ask yourself, what tone am I setting today to my kids around the holiday season? Am I setting the tone of anxiousness? Am I setting the tone of worry? Am I setting the tone of frustration with family and annoyance? And are my kids hearing that from me all the time? Are they picking up on what I'm saying and kind of carrying that? Or am I setting the tone for presence, for connection, for gratitude, for kind of simplification of life, of joy, of peace? And I really want you to think about that. What tone are you setting this holiday season? And ask yourself every day, and then ask, okay, if I was a kid, think back to when you were a kid and imagine your dad acting the way you might be. How would that be for you if you're acting kind of stressed out and trying to be perfect and complaining about other family members? Like, what would that be like for you as a kid? And see how that impacts how you change. And so these are 3 quick tips on how to help effectively navigate this holiday season. This is things that I'm doing. Again, I'm trying to remain present, regulated, and reminding myself that I set the tone. And so my encouragement to you is be present, stay regulated, and set a tone of peace, of calm, of connection. And part of this whole thing, part of why we do this, is really about setting the stage. It's about modeling and equipping the next generation and yourself to be grounded, to be adaptable, to be resilient and authentic. And until next time, have a great day.